I'm Onyia. This is Behind the Hype, presented by HBO Max, and I'm sitting here with the lovely
Camila, and I'm one of the designers of DeadBlud.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wow, so this is an exciting run for you, right?
Definitely, definitely exciting run.
So how would you describe, you getting this, I'm gonna call it an invitation to be a part of this show?
It was definitely a unexpected thing that happened out of the blue for my brand and for me and my partner. I didn't really understand when we started getting hit up through email, like what was going on. It was like sewing competition. I'm like, oh, I'm not really a sewer. I don't really want to do all of that. And then it got like deeper with them getting in contact with us physically with phone calls and explaining to us how we don't have to be sewers, that we could just be creative directors. You know, we work with a small team out here in LA, so we have a small team of sewers that help us do all of our production. So I'm not really hands-on when it comes to the sample making and the making of the garments themselves. So when I got the call that I was gonna do the show, that was my biggest concern.
You see the vision, and then you know how to like orchestrate the vision.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
So tell me about your connection to LA, born and raised?
No, I'm actually born and raised in Colombia, and then I moved out to Los Angeles at a very young age. I actually grew up in Palmdale, which is like an hour and a half from LA. I went to school there, high school, graduated, and then after high school I moved to LA to pursue my career in the arts and do college and all of that, but yeah.
And you linked up with your partner. How did, the brand come about?
So me and Marina became really good friends. We had very similar fashion taste. We had very similar music taste. We would go to a lot of events together. And it was around the same time that I was finally building up the courage to want to do my own brand. We both worked in the fashion industry. She modeled for Yeezy, did a lot of stuff in the fashion industry. And I also worked with a lot of different upcoming brands in streetwear and in the industry. So when we got together, we went to Burning Man. That was like one of the biggest inspirational events that we went to together. We saw, it's so crazy. Yeah. I tell everybody, you gotta go at least once. The energy there is unreal. Yeah. Like the inspiration that I brought for both of us being at that place, seeing how magical everything is and how easy it could manifest for us if we really put our brains together and gave it our all. So right after Burning Man, it literally only took 4 months for us to launch our brand.
Really? And the name of the brand is?
It's DeadBlud.
DeadBlud. Why DeadBlud? Like to me, as soon as I see DeadBlud, I just think of vampires.
Good, good. I'm glad you think of vampires because we're super edgy, we're super vampy. We're very, I don't want to put DeadBlud in a specific box either. Yeah. I think the reason that we chose the name itself is because it's so out there. It makes people think, what is that? Is that a band? Are they a music group? What do they do? Yeah. And at the end of it all, we want to do everything. We're trying to do music right now too, so it's like we want it to be a brand that expresses the freedom to express yourself, to be the outcast, to be the misfits. We're not trying to be in a box. We're DeadBlud.
Yeah, so it's not just a clothing brand. It's everything.
It's everything.
It's anything you want it to be, it can
exactly.
be. So on the show, the first challenge was really a challenge. They just went through the racks and picked like who they felt, who had the best rack. But the real first challenge for me, the one where you guys designed, put together a piece for A$AP Ferg. I thought yours was on point. I thought you were clearly the winner for that. I thought you really tapped into, I think, his aesthetic. Like, I work with a lot of guys in the industry, and that's something I clearly, if Ferg came to me and said, hey man, just pick me out something that's like really fits my aesthetic and speaks to who I am as an artist, out of all the looks, that would have been the look. So I was surprised that you didn't win that challenge. How did you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like I hit so many of the marks when it came to that challenge. I really tried to dig deep into who Ferg is as an artist, the type of clothing that he wears, and I tried to keep it really like simple, timeless, but also put in that like patchwork staple in there. And I was a little sad But then at the same time, like Kai's fit was really crazy.
Yeah.
But it was definitely something that I personally didn't feel like I have seen on Ferg, or maybe I just didn't do enough research to know that that's something he would wear. But
yeah, to me, it didn't seem like when I think of Ferg, like I look at artists as like, if I had to draw an artist, what would I put them in? Like that's how you know that's like their classic or signature look. And that's not something I would have thought Ferg's signature look. I think maybe that's something that is going in the direction that he wants to go into style-wise.
I agree.
But where he's at now, and even some of the fits he was wearing to the challenge.
yeah, I was inspired by his fit. I was like, okay, like I need to do something timeless, like his vest, you know what I mean? I went with the corduroy.
Yeah.
That's like one of our favorite fabrics to work with is corduroy. It's timeless. So I thought I had it in the bag. I was like, oh, I can picture him at Coachella, like performing in this.
Performing. Yeah, it was. I thought before they announced it, I was like, oh, she got this. And then when they announced like Kai, I got it, but I was like, if it's about to the letter of what the challenge was about, you easily won it.
Honestly, I was just really upset about the billboard. Like that could have been me. Like that could have been DeadBlud on a billboard.
The billboard was a valuable play on their part. I thought that was pretty cool for anyone to have a billboard and it was well shot. It was a beautiful billboard. Kai,
he killed it.
He killed that. So what did you feel about? Well, what did you think was the most challenging part about? What the tasks were? Was it obviously you said sewing isn't your thing, but there was an emphasis on, getting a tech pack in. There was emphasis on, was it the quick turnaround of like, you have 2 days to kind of like from conception, have a product ready. What was the most challenging part for you?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part for me specifically was definitely getting the construction of the garments down. It was actually pretty cool to see how fast I came up with my concepts, like right then and there. As soon as the challenge was being explained, I already kind of started building it in my mind. So then executing and having that small time frame I sewed everything for the first time on the show.
Yeah.
So like from the Ferg outfit and my t-shirt, me not being able to explain correctly on a tech pack how to do things because it was my first time sending in a tech pack, to it coming back completely wrong and having to reconstruct my t-shirt and putting a collar on for the first time, and on the second challenge doing a jacket, like a hard denim jacket with lining and like making it look crazy. Like the timing, it was crazy for me to try and get everything done within that small amount of time because it was my first time constructing every piece.
So how does it work sewing for the first time? You've been at a sewing machine before.
I've sewed at a sewing machine before.
Okay.
But as far as like getting, like I'm in a competition show, I don't have any room to mess up this garment. And I did mess up a couple garments. I had to start all over. I remember I had to make these pants, and like I sewed the pants together, so it was like a skirt with like the sides open, like had to rip them all open.
So there's
again.
no one there coaching and like
nobody. Nobody.
That's where I would have an issue because I can't sew, and so I'd be worried me. I would like.
I was so like
locked in,
so tapped into my own stuff. The first episode, I had no idea that stuff with Murph was going on until I watched it. I was like,
I think that's so cool that these things are happening. Obviously, it's a perfect example of like our everyday lives. Like,
right.
We're all locked in and living our lives, and for little points in time, you see it on social media, people might tune into what other people have going on, but for the most part, we're just locked in on our lives, and sometimes we're oblivious to what's going on around us.
Right.
And that's a perfect example of that, because I think it's crazy you guys are watching the show, and you're seeing like, this is really happening?
Right.
This is really going on?
Yeah.
So your collab with Wale, I thought the fabric choice that you guys chose was immaculate. How was that? Because different times, different episodes, you see you guys scrambling and like trying to figure out, scrambling for fabric.
Yeah.
So was it really like that, or?
No, it was definitely a war zone in there. Like as soon as they said go, we had to like run in there and grab the fabrics. For me, it was like I needed to focus on getting my collection to look cohesive, so I already knew in what direction I wanted the colors to go for each challenge. And I wanted to keep it in a neutral, like I wanted to add some greenery in there because I had already done the khaki colors and the browns, and now I wanted to add some like military in there.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was the color choice, the fabric choice was magnificent.
yeah. Thank you.
How was it, with the models? Like, what was that experience? Like, people coming in and, there's models of different sizes, different heights, and so is there a fight for the models? And
There is. So we each individually got to pick a number out of a hat every time to be the first pick for the models. And we were the first picks for the models that challenge. So
because that model choice, so it felt like everything for the collaboration that you guys had, everything kind of aligned. You guys had the hiccup in the beginning with, with him not kind of, respecting your opinion or giving you an option to kind of like have your voice. But besides that, it seemed like from then on, you guys were just running.
Yeah.
Because the model choice was on point. It fit beautifully with the story. And tell me about the story. Whose idea was that?
It was my idea. I felt like it would be an amazing idea to talk about and put some eyes to, because I feel like it's a topic that needs to be talked about more, especially right now. We're in such a transitional phase of bringing acceptance and bringing more love to all of these topics. So I had the idea, our models were actually an actual gay couple. So I was like, how perfect we could really run with this. And since we're doing a military kind of vibe with the color scheme, like, why not bring that to light?
And then how did it feel to, find out that you won? Like your first challenge,
Oh, it felt so good because I felt like the other two challenges, I really hit the mark. And that was like one thing I really wanted to focus on, is paying attention to what the co-signers wanted for the challenge and listening to like what it was specifically that we needed to hit the marks with for the challenge. I feel like for the first challenge, I hit the mark. For the second challenge, I hit the mark. For the third challenge, I really wanted it to be something like, I was overhearing the other competitors' stories, and I was like, nah, like our story is like depth. There's some real ass stuff going on with our story. So I really wanted it to be something like heartfelt and that people could be like, okay, that's like, it could set us aside from everyone else.
Yeah, visually you felt it. And, you felt it, even like the scenery. Everything was on point with that. So now that the episodes are out, like have you been inspired? Are you being reached out, or like friends, family hitting you up? Like what's changed in this
Everybody's
little short
hitting us up. No, this week has been awesome, just from the amazing feedback that I've gotten from people who've been following me for a while and get to see my journey now, coming into becoming a designer, and family who I haven't talked to in so long and are like, yo, what the heck? And then for me personally, this experience has been able to teach me so much and broaden my horizons as far as like what I want to do with the brand. I think it's inspired Marina and I a lot to go towards, making staple streetwear pieces, because I feel like we kind of just like started the brand. We've only had it for a year. We're learning as we go to do everything. So everything that we've made so far is kind of just like ideas that we've came up with. But I think the show has really shown us that, we want to take it a little bit more street, but also keep it up to that high scale standard, eventually leading to be like a high-end streetwear brand. But I definitely wanted, I designed a lot for men. We only got 2 chances on the show to design for women. And so I designed a lot for men, and I found like a love for designing for men. So I definitely want to bring more of that into DeadBlud. So the next couple months, I'm really focusing on doing our first graphic t-shirt launches, designing some epic pants, and just getting some more unisex designs out there.
We spoke a little bit about, from that collaboration, you wanting to be more, express, what's kind of been going on right now and being more inclusive, within your brand. How are you looking to inject that into your brand?
So from the start of building DeadBlud, we always wanted it to be like a genderless type of vibe. We wanted to bring that androgynous culture and make it live within our brand. So with our stuff, a lot of it is unisex, and that's kind of like the direction that we want to keep going is, you know, making stuff that girls can feel sexy in, but also can feel comfortable in, and making stuff that men would wear, and stuff for the gay culture to like rock, because like, you know, we're all about that.
For sure, for sure. How are you looking to, you know, really make a stamp and really get your, like, really what you are the message that you want to get across from this brand? How are you looking to get that out?
I think that, you know, one of them being part of the androgynous culture and keeping it genderless and letting people from being open to everybody and making it a brand for everybody, not just for men, not just for women, but making it unisex, making the culture of streetwear become something that is open to everybody, as well as bringing and enlightening people to becoming more aware and more sustainable. So that's something that our brand really focuses on, and is sustainability. We make everything here in LA. We use no plastic in our packaging, and slowly within the show too, I've learned so much on different ways to how to become even more sustainable. So we're looking into becoming better as we go and growing.
That's good. Well, growing till you're out of there. You know, it's a pleasure sitting down with you, Camila. I'm excited to see what, you know, DeadBlud has to offer. This was Behind the Hype, presented by HBO Max. Camila, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear more about DeadBlud. So
thank you.
It's a pleasure.